Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gashay. I think I have everything muted, so nothing should come on, but we shall see. Um, Hold on, y'all. I don't have both lights on because I do have a headache, but I have like things that I need to get done. And when I was like, dang, there's already people here, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and get the stuff that I need to get finished, and go that way. And then I can lay down. Cause like, who wants to like lay down and then have to get up and do something, right? You might as well get it done now, and then you could just sleep and be good. So today I am going to first work on my review of Becca C. Smith's new book. It is The Dream Diaries 2 Blood Ties. It came out on July 15th. It was a great read. I definitely recommend if you like mystery, thriller, psychic type stuff. It's really, really good. And this one, spoiler alert, has a ghost in it. So like, if that's your thing, I think you should definitely check it out. I'll drop the link down in the chat eventually. I'll remember. So I want to work on my review for that so that I can get that up. And then I would also like to get a blog post finished. And by finished, I mean scheduled, because y'all know your girl will write like 5,000 and they'll never see the light of day. I'm working on it. So I'm gonna get in and say hi to everybody, and then we will get into our first sprint. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. Ashley is in here and says, hey, everybody, June was a blur and July was zooming away, but I'm back. Yeah, no, this summer is already like, woof, it's going by quickly. Like, I'm like, dang, it'll be August in like 2 weeks. Hey, Alice, how are you? How is your weekend going? Claude said, hello. Note to myself for future reference, always say hello 20 minutes before a stream in case the host has a headache. You know what? I understand. Jokes aside, I hope you'll get rid of it. So yeah, so I was like, okay, people are here. Let me go ahead and take my herbal medicine and just get started on that. So it'll probably be typing and herbal medicine during this next sprint. Not even gonna lie to y'all. So if I come back and I'm like, I'm giggling a little bit, I mean, y'all see I'm smiling now with this headache, so y'all know it's already kicked in a little bit, right? I'm just saying. Thank God for plants. Amen. SM Ryan says, hello, everyone. Thanks for hosting tonight, Shay. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. Also, I have been loving your reels. I feel like I've seen like a few more of them. First of all, can I say that I hate the way the new like algorithm for your news feed goes? Like, I feel like I don't see anybody's stuff that like I used to see regularly. And then when I see it, it's like the post was up 3 days ago. Like, but it's so good to see you here. I hope you're having a great Saturday as well. Frankie, hey, go Frank with it. So how many of y'all know what that came from? Because I just realized that I am quite a bit older than some of my subscribers. So, but lean to the left, lean to the right. That was my college days, y'all. I'm just saying. Lisa, how are you? I hope your weekend is going well. Hey there, Sin. Sorry about the headache. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I'm going up already. Thank you, Lord. Frankie says, hope you feel better soon. I know headaches and screens don't mix well, right? That's why it's like this screen is like super dark. There's no overhead light. I just got this lamp right here. Y'all know there's no lights in like my apartment outside of them. So yeah, I'm right there. I'm understanding. Brad, oh no, you got a headache. Don't worry about me. All right, regardless, I know we'll get them words in. As she says, you good, just take as much time as you need, even if it's just an hour, we'll take it. Yeah, because that's probably what it's going to be. I'm trying to like hit the goal and be done. But y'all know, I scheduled blog posts, not just written, scheduled blog post. Alice says, I already worked on some essays today, and now I'm switching over to fiction writing on a new idea I got from a dream last night. Ooh, man, dreams will take you there. Dreams will take you there. I'm excited. Have you been working on your newest draft of Monstralas recently? I'm curious. Stephanie says, hey, thanks for streaming even though you're hurting. Well, you guys make it awesome, and I appreciate y'all so very much. Twin, how are you? I hope you are feeling better. I know you weren't feeling well. So love and hugs and all the good vibes. And Ryan says, thank you so much for watching. The algorithm remixes every time. Right? It's ridiculous. But yours are so like, I love, like, they're like writerly, but cute, but like badass at the same time. Ooh, I'm trying to stop cussing y'all. So, what's another word that I could say? This is freaking awesome. Either way, it was tight. I liked it. You did a good job. See, I'm about to join you after I work on this good old review that I got to do. Also, y'all, guess what happened when I woke up this morning? Guess who broke their chain? Now, a chain that, doesn't do anything, but it's the collar around his neck. But yep, Titan definitely broke it. So guess who had to get a new harness today? Titan. Guess how long he had that one? Like not even 3 months. He is Titan the Terror for a reason. He is Titan the Terror for a reason. Pure fire. Okay, pure fire. I got it. I got pure fire. We got that. Thank you, Bree. Let's smash that like button. Alice said, my Charlotte's Draft 2 is in the works, although I keep getting distracted by scene ideas from the second book, which isn't supposed to be drafted until August. Hey, you got to take it. You got to go where the art takes you. I completely understand that. All right, y'all. So we are going to get into the first sprint. It's going to be 15 minutes just because I'm going to try to focus on the review and just give these 15 minutes to work on the review the way I wanted to. Titan skipped the day of writing. Is that it? Right? Right. Titan just be doing the most. And y'all, I wrote the questions before the stream. What? So these are questions that are going to make you think this week. So let's get into it. Today, question 1 is, what's a misconception people have about you that makes you laugh? Also, you did not have to do that right now, Cleo. You did not. We're not gonna talk about Cleo right now. I love her. I love her. I do. I love her. I do. All right, y'all. 15 minutes on the clock. In 3, 2, 1. Y'all write them words. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. And I can say it now. How did my lovely co-host do? Yeah, because when I didn't have no co-host, I kept saying it like it was somebody there.
Yes, I was like, let me see if she needs company. Yeah, I did okay. So I'm finishing one of my critique partners pages. So I have less than 10 to go, and I want to finish it because we're supposed to like re-exchange at the end of the month, and I have a whole other part 2 to read that's over 100 pages as well. So I'm like, okay, today needs to be the day that I finish this first one. So I'm gonna finish that hopefully in this second sprint and start writing my own part 3, which we're exchanging at the end of the month too. So I'm like trying to write and read at the same time. But it went pretty well. I'm almost done. I should be able to finish before the second sprint is over. Because I was doing that, I didn't see the first question. What's a misconception people have about you that makes you laugh? There are very few misconceptions people have about me that do make me laugh. Most of them annoy. Yeah, it honestly depends on the day and my mood whether or not I find it funny. But I guess one that I mostly find annoying, but sometimes find funny, is that people think that I'm upset when I'm not, if I'm not actively making an expression. Like if I'm just sitting here, like, people will think that I'm upset about something and then start, to be honest, if they're white people, they'll start doing a lot of things to like put me at ease when I'm like, I am not upset, but you are upsetting me. And then if they're like black people, they usually just leave me the heck alone, or they'll say like, are you okay? If they think that I'm upset, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. So that's just the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Those moments where you're like, I'm fine. If you keep asking me if I'm okay, I'm
I
not
will
gonna
no
be
longer be.
right. No, I completely get that. Excuse me. Okay, so what I did during that sprint was finish my medicine. And then I started on I started on um the review. But I wanna get some thoughts on it. So like if y'all are down, I wouldn't mind reading it to be like, hey, does this make you be like, I low key want to read this book? Like, because I want it to be a good one, you know.
Yes.
Because I really, really like the book. Like for real. I was like, hey yo, so when book 3 coming out? I mean, I'm not trying to rush you because I know you already got like one book you edited and another one you plan on drafting, but like when book 3, you gonna work on that? So like it was a thing. But a misconception people have about me that makes me laugh, is that a lot of people think I'm an extrovert. Which was funny because me and Sherry have the same birthday, and their answer was people think I'm an extrovert and the life of the party when I'm actually really quiet and reading most of the time. Like exactly, like people be like, "Man, you're like that." I'm like, I promise you, you come hang out, we're gonna be like sitting on the couch. I'm gonna be crocheting and watching Frasier, and that's just gonna be it. Like it's not gonna be like I mean, we turn on a good like 90s, early 2000s playlist. You got me like reminiscing about high school and yo, tell a girl I wanna
Come
see
on,
her,
Chris Brown.
right? We take it back to run it. We go
Come
back.
on. He had some
Like
hits when he
that was
first
my
came out.
sophomore year in high school.
You know?
So like, and Chris Brown was his first album was the first secular album I ever like physically owned. So that was like a big deal because my grandmother was like, no, like in the house I grew up in, there were 5 secular albums. It was Ruben Studdard's first album, Fantasia's first album, Diary, Diary by
Alicia Keys.
Alicia
Okay.
Keys' album, and that Chris Brown album, and then I think I had a Destiny Child's album for like a week, and then she found it and was like, yeah. That's not going down in here. Yeah, that was one of the best
Nice,
frisbees
yeah.
I ever saw. Best frisbees I ever saw, no lie. She was not having it. She was not having it. Okay, let's get to where we left off. Okay. I thought I was at it. Oh, yeah, okay. So we had Jabria pop in, drop a like, wishing everybody happy writing. Thank you. Tash joined us. Hello, lovely people. Hope everyone is doing well. If you guys have not checked out our masterclass for David Baldacci Part 1, definitely make sure you check that out on both of our channels. We will be working on Part 2 coming at y'all in August, because July is like, it's almost over and we already got stuff going on, so we just not even gonna try right now. Like, we are going to enjoy July as it is and not put no more pressure on ourselves. As she said, because I grew up in the suburbs, I want to be your free therapist or black best friend. Baby, no, I got friends. You are an acquaintance at best. I keep my boundaries, boo. Like, boundaries are important. Like, for real, like, it's just, you can't let everybody in, and you can't be everything for everybody. Like, if you extend yourself out too far, you're not gonna be able to help yourself, let alone anybody else. So I feel that, Ashley. I feel that. Sin said, might be a boring answer, but I find it funny that people think I'm shy and quiet when they first meet me, while I'm literally the opposite of that. Okay, so Sin's like, nah, I am the life of the party. Like, at first you might be like, eh. It's like, no, you just ain't met me yet. I love it. Hello. Frankie says, because I'm generally quiet, people often assume I'm nice and sweet. But to be honest, my mom told me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. So I don't say anything. I feel that. It's just sometimes it is better to be quiet. It is. It's just sometimes. Since that, I read some pages. Alice got 976. I did write that number down, Alice. I did. I'm coming up on almost 30 numbers. So if I get 31, that'll be a number for every day of August. That's my goal. That's my goal. Stephanie says, words 454. Answer, people thinking I'm intimidating, but it's just an RBF. Yes, I know quite a few people that have RBFs. And it's like, I'm not mad, I just look like this. SM Ryan says, I skimmed through the chapter. I'm working on my camp project, did some light edits, and squeezed in 83 words. Yes. Sherry says, they don't get your dry sense of humor. I love it. Oh, dang, where is it at? Okay. Alice says, when they believe that I'm a goody two shoes and that I don't want to destroy most power structures I come across because I believe they need to be fixed. Ow. Alice says, down with everything. I'm with it. Hello, how are you? For those of you guys who don't know, Storytelling with E.L. Drayton streams on her channel 3 days a week, I want to say. I feel like it's 3 days a week. I feel like it was like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I feel like I made it to at least 2 this week. I did. I fell asleep both times because it was super early, but I made it. Britt said, I'm not even being funny, just existing without emoting, and it makes people anxious to not know exactly what I'm thinking. It's invasive, really, that part. Been meaning to ask, what is the Ray Bradbury Challenge? I am glad you asked. I have not talked about this in a while. So the Ray Bradbury Challenge is, Ray Bradbury gave this talk, and it's linked. It's usually linked in the description of the Ray Bradbury Challenge videos, but I know the ones for camp haven't been, so I have to go in and add it. But what he said was, in order to be a great writer, you have to write. And so he gave the challenge of, when you are really trying to take your writing seriously, to write one short story a week for a year. So 52 short stories in a year. And so that is the goal. So it was like one day a week that I was streaming and trying to like dedicate to that. Now I'm definitely in like, usually the week is in here, and I know the week isn't in July's video, so I'll have to go back and add that. Thank you for this question. I appreciate you. And I think I've gotten 10 original first drafts at least so far. We obviously know it's been way more weeks than that, but I am pretty proud of the 10 that I have, and at least 4 of them have went on past the first draft. So I'm either on a second or a third draft of them. So and I definitely think I've gotten better from when I wrote Penelope's Curve almost a year ago. So if you want a free smile, go to McDonald's. I am with you. Is what I would say to that. It's always POH. What's POH? If I'm missing something, let me know. Oh, don't be afraid to step up for yourself and just have you met me? Right. Go to McDonald's. I know that's a good one. Morgan, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I feel like you have like a book coming out soon. I feel like, let me know. Let me know. I feel like I saw something about that. Let me know. Since that, I hate it when people are telling me to smile. I have RBF. That's just my face. Get over it. Yeah, like if you smile more, ooh, don't tell me to smile. I just, I don't like it. It's not giving what you think it gave. Hey, Steven. Oh, first of all, I'm loving your new avatar. Oh, it's giving me like a fairy elf, but also like I'm kind of like a bad boy, like at the same time. Like I'm getting so many things from it and I'm loving it, is all I'm saying. Is I'm loving it. Hey y'all, I missed y'all. I haven't been in one of your streams in like months. I know. How have you been? I hope your writing has been going well. I hope 2021 has been treating you well. EL says, dang, that's what I was trying to do in 2020, my Friday fiction, where I was trying to do 52 short stories in 52 weeks. I got through 6 months, so I'm proud of that. I want to bring back my Friday fiction. Ooh, that'd be awesome. Definitely let us know if that is something that you're going to do. We'll definitely check it out. All right, y'all, we have made it to the bottom of the comments. Woo, woo, woo. I can't be the only one. Like, why would I walk through the hallway by myself, smiling ear to ear? That's just creepy. You know, if I'm being honest, if somebody, well, I feel like it depends on how wide the smile. Like, I feel like if it looks like it's like a smile to yourself, but I feel like if you're like Cheshire Cat smiling down the hallway, I am probably afraid and making sure that I have never done anything to wrong you in this world.
Exactly.
If I'm being honest.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. It also depends if like walking down the hallway with earphones in, because I've definitely been like walking in a park early in the morning, listening to Alexandra House, and been literally laughing out loud because of what I'm listening to. So I can definitely be alone. And I've also just like laughed to myself without listening to a book if I'm just thinking. But that's my decision.
Yeah. No, see, and it's just like, yeah, but the like walking down the hall and just like Joker smiling and stuff, like I'm gonna be a little afraid. I'm not gonna lie. So
I've done it before.
I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna let her have that side of the hallway. Exactly. I'm supposed to be on this side anyway.
I'm gonna take an alternate route. It's okay.
Do with me. Like, no, for real, I'm gonna be blind. Like, that don't got nothing to do with me. That smile is not for me.
I'm Stevie Wonder and I have to go.
Where's the nearest exit? Like, I'm gonna just be honest. What about skipping down the hallway? Would you avoid this thing? Okay, so
absolutely.
I feel like if you are not 5, yes, I would.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I would leave faster with you skipping than with you smiling.
Yeah, I feel like I just feel like somebody skipping down a hallway with a big Cheshire Cat.
That's giving me Joker for sure.
It's a story. I'm writing it down. It's a story. Hold on.
That's really giving me Harley Quinn. Isn't that his girlfriend? It's giving me Harley Quinn.
Giving you Harley Quinn. I see that.
Yeah.
So Cat, as my grandma said, Chester Cat.
Yeah. If I saw someone smiling really big walking down the hall, I'd be like, okay, I wonder what's happening. But if I saw someone skipping and smiling, I'm like,
now my ears are ringing because I hear that little that Kill Bill little thing that they turn into a song, and I can't get it. I can't get it out. No, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh my gosh. It scares me. When they added that to a song on the radio and I had no clue. Song? Yes, and I just started it. I was like, how does this not put y'all on edge? Like, this makes me feel like somebody is under the seat behind me, and I must check every 15 minutes because I checked when I got in the car and I haven't opened the doors, but somebody could still be back there, is how that song makes me feel. Paranoid. as all get out.
I like this song. I'm about to play it
Yeah.
as soon as we start this next sprint.
Well, I've never listened to the song because all I hear is that part, and I just can't. I can't get past that part because it
There's a
scares me.
beat behind it and some percussion. It barely even sounds the same.
Nah, not when they play it on the radio. It don't. They must drag that beginning out because no.
Well, no, the beginning is.
Yes, because I was like, ooh, this is creepy. Sharon says their normal faces, blank expressions gives you wrinkles. I love
Will
it.
be on them.
Stephanie says, I feel like I don't trust super smiley people, right? Right? Smiling faces tell lies.
Boom.
They don't tell the truth. It's a song. Look it up. All I'm saying. And then Sherry says, when I love the panini and walk into the grocery store because I have headphones, sunglasses, mask, do not talk to me. And they still try, and I don't understand. Stephanie says, RBF keeps you looking young forever. I love it. I have a book coming out September 21st, book 2 in a fantasy trilogy. Okay, I feel like I heard you talking about proofs during a stream the other day. I felt like, so I was like, book coming, book. Hello, Charlie. How are you? I hope all is well. Steven says, the writing has been going well. I've been fast driving my 7 Deadly Sins series since the end of 2019. I may finish drafting book 7 this month. Yes. I love the work ethic. I really, really do. All right, y'all. We have been chit-chatting for a lot longer than I planned to. So at this 40 minutes of a streaming mark, I'm going to get ready to start this timer. And we are going to go for 25 minutes. And yeah, that oh, I need to change the question. Let me do that before I forget. There we go. So the question is, what's a book that you love that hasn't been turned into a movie but you think it should? Curious. All right, y'all. In 3, 2, 1. Y'all write them words. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. How did my lovely co-host do?
I'm here. Okay. Um, I was writing a review. So I was going on Goodreads to write my review of Blood Like Magic and the other Black Girl because I was like, okay, sis, you can't do your own writing until you do all your other writing. So because it's getting wild, I'm gonna forget stuff. So I went on there, and then the first thing I saw was "It's Okay Not to Be Okay" by Lisa Cross Smith, and I was like, "Oh snap! Haven't done a review of that book either." And I forgot that I had like even put it on my currently reading list on Goodreads. So I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I should do that one first." So I am finishing that one now. It's just a paragraph. These are all going to be like paragraph reviews, even when I'm like, "It was great," which like this close to okay was not great. It was a 3-star read for me. I think I told you about it as I was reading it. It was just silliness of this therapist taking this grown man home because she found him in
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
fridge.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, but
I
I never know what happened. We didn't talk about what happened. So you finished it?
I finished it,
Okay.
and so she finds out who he is, and his name isn't even Emmett. Surprise, surprise. I forget what his name is, but like he's basically infamous because his wife committed suicide. And spoiler alert coming. His wife committed suicide by like she was bipolar. Commit suicide by like putting gas in her the garage thing. Like she sits in her car, cranks the closed with the garage closed, and so she
I
kills her.
remember not that for you.
Yes, thank you. You all must have a friend that's in STEM. You simply must. She does that, but she did not stuff a towel under the garage doors, so it drifted in and suffocated their sleeping 3-year-old as well. So yeah. So Emmett, whose name is not Emmett, but I can remember what his name really is. Emmett comes home and finds them both dead, and is like obviously like wrecked. And because his wife is white, he and like her family, like the town that they lived in was named after her family, and they never liked him because they were like, "You black person," they so raging racist. I'm like, okay, well he's. I'm not even gonna go there. We're a mixed company, so they're raging racists. So they essentially they get him imprisoned for the murder, even though it wasn't a murder, it was clearly suicide. So like he didn't want her to know all of that, so he lied about what his name was. It ends with him like going back home finally and living his life, and Tally adopts a child and ends up with this guy who she'd been sleeping with for a while, who was her high school sweetheart. But here's the thing. I had to suspend my disbelief throughout the entire book to even make his presence in her house make sense, because you're a whole therapist. What is ethical or responsible about you bringing home a man who you found on a bridge about to jump to your home rather than taking him to a hospital or something, anything but taking him to your home? Like that makes no sense. Lied about what her occupation was. Like it was just a lot of stuff where it's like, this is ridiculous. Like this is farcical at this point. And so when it did end and the end was like very sensible, I was like, really? Okay, because we've not been doing what we're supposed to be doing this entire time. I'm just surprised that we're gonna like coast to an end as opposed to crash into a brick wall and drop a blade curtain. So that what I 3-star read for me. It was fine, I guess, and I found myself rooting for them as a couple, and then I had to remind myself they're not a couple. So doing that review, and then I'll get to Lizelle, and then the kid about Delilah Harris the next sprint, and then I will do my own writing. My gosh.
And question number two.
Once again, I'm just now looking at it. Um I would love to see Dread Nation turned into a a movie book, whatever, not a book, into a movie or something, but I don't really trust them to turn that into Anything else? I would like to see it because I love Jane, but I'm also like, I don't know if that I trust that. So let me think of a better one. Or the 100,000 Kingdoms. Oh my gosh. The Inheritance
Right.
trilogy. The Inheritance
Right.
trilogy. Bring
Man,
me a movie. Bring me a franchise. I would love that.
that would be crazy good. That would be crazy
Yes.
good.
That is my
Okay.
final answer. Inheritance trilogy.
So I got 247 words. Finished my um I finished my review and I got it up on Goodreads and I need to get it on Amazon. I also need to do my review of Blood Like Magic and The Other Black Girl. I believe I've written them. So my review document for 2021 is almost 7,000 words long. And I have by no means reviewed every book that I've read because I am at 41 books for the year so far. My goal was 52. I am so very proud of myself. Let's see. Yeah, no. Neither one of those reviews have been started, so I don't know what I was thinking. They haven't been started. So there's that. And there a movie that I love that hasn't been turned into a movie, but I think should is The Visitation by Frank Peretti. Because it deals with the like extremism of Christianity and how people can use Christianity as a weapon. But also how that's not Christianity, right? Like that's what they're telling people it is, but the truth is what they're doing is has nothing at all to do with Christianity or Christ or God or anything positive. And so it's like it's calling out the hypocrisy. And y'all, it gets deep. And so Frank Peretti is like an angel demon warfare writer. And so like I won't spoil it, but somebody gets nailed to a cross and makes a deal with the devil, and there we go. Like it's a it's a fantastic story. And if there was a movie I could ever if there was a book I could ever be turned into a movie or a TV show, like I think that would be amazing. So yeah, so that would be mine. And so where did we leave off? Okay, so Jules says Tamora Pierce's Alana series. I've been hearing her name a lot more recently, and it's definitely making me want to check her out. Sin says, I'm going to say Six of Crows because that book deserves more than what we got in the TV show. Also, the Savage song and Caraval, I really want Caraval to happen. I feel like I've heard of that book. Like, not the Six of Crows, but the Caraval, sorry. But I don't know anything about it. I do think movie rights were sold, but it's been some years, and not every book that sells the rights actually gets turned into a movie. Right. Sherry says this already had a movie, but I really want them to remake Joy Luck Club. I feel like the movie didn't go deep into what made the book resonate with me. I've heard that said that is that if there was that should be a remake that gets done. R.A. Salvatore, the Dark Elf trilogy. This is coming from Claude. He says, but at the same time, I don't trust movies to do a good job with books. So maybe it's a good thing it doesn't. This is also very true. This is also very true. So I completely understand. I've seen a couple of comments like this, and I completely understand like not wanting it to be a thing because if you mess it up, like you mess it up, and I'm gonna be mad. But like if I knew it was gonna be done exactly how it needed to be done, then yeah. Sin says, at first I wanted to say Silmarillion. I hope I'm saying that right. But Amazon is already making a TV series about it. So, I got an Amazon TV series to talk to y'all about. Remind me when I get through these comments. As she said, the city we became is both trippy and amazing at the same time. It is, and I still feel like I listened to the audiobook. I still feel like I need to have the physical book and like read it to get everything because this one had way more like characters whose heads you were in than her normal books. So it was a little different for me. And it was the first like set in the real world. But I loved it. I did love it. Frankie says The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. I hope I'm saying that right. An epic standalone sci-fi thriller with a PLC protagonist featuring advanced technology, corporate greed, and amazing worlds. So I'm going to just write that down because that sounds like everything I want to read and then some. So the space between worlds. And y'all, I really do be writing slow when I write print. So like I just thought that in my head. I was like, oh, you should probably write in cursive so you can get it done faster. And there we go. Cursive come in handy, y'all. Not having to lift your pen off the paper, it's a thing. And then Ryan says, I have to say, I've never wanted to see any phase made into movies or TV shows. Very rarely are book to movie adaptations done well. I can't handle the letdown. I completely get that. Frankie says, so don't judge me, but I may have abandoned my camp project to outline a 4-book YA sci-fi series that I've been dying to write, but I'm not good at outlining. I'm not going to judge you because Britt knows that the Dexter Meets How to Get Away with Murder series has been like on my brain so much. And so Blankets and Burglary has had some action, but not nearly as much as it was planning to. So there's that. In other words, I understand. Hey, Regina. For those of you guys who don't know, Miss Regina had a book come out this past week. Definitely go check her out on Amazon. I'm not going to lie, I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's also because when I was looking it up, I was like, dang, Miss Regina got books, y'all. Books. So definitely go check her out when you get the chance. Stephanie says 719 words. Okay, Stephanie. Morgan says, I have been working on this blurb all day. I'm sick of looking at it. I'm ready to call it done. Blurbs are hard. Blurbs are not easy. So I completely understand. And if you need to take a step back and come at it tomorrow, I mean, that's cool too. Steven said, I finished the chapter. Also, Alice, I just want to say this is funny because the first number that I ever wrote down that you did was 1,531. So that you did 1,351 is just cool. Whereas I figured out a working title for this idea. I'm calling it Misfits in the Red Zone. Answer 2, The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell. What is that about? I've never heard that one. Stephanie said, Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini. They made it into a musical, but I haven't seen it. Okay. Sin says Silmarillion is like the prequel of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, basically what happened in their first age. Oh, wow. Hey, Bree. Just popping in. Hey, for those of you guys who don't know, me, Britt, and Bree on Monday night are coming at y'all with a booktube discussion. It's about being Black and a creator because, you know, there are things that come with both that we got to deal with. And so that was going to be the topic, and I cannot wait to get into it with these ladies. Like, if you have not checked out either one of their channels, definitely do, so you can see the type of things they're coming at the conversation with. I'm just super duper excited about it, and we're thinking this is going to be a regular thing that we do, rotating channels on different topics, so we will definitely be letting you guys know. I'm going to put something in the community tab because I'm going to remember to put something in the community tab, and it's going to be there. So, yeah. Chilling in the comments. We appreciate it. Hey. Right. So, okay, when I am like writing a note really quickly, the default is manuscript for some reason. But anytime I'm like writing, like taking notes in a class or like the master class or reading the craft book, cursive, 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 cursive. Like majority of the time when I'm like with my CP, see Britt's name is in cursive, like cursive, 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 cursive. Also, it's funny because as a child, I hated cursive. I thought it was the devil. And now as an adult, it's my favorite thing. Also, I realized that most of these new kids can't read cursive, apparently. So they can't read what I be saying when I be talking.
I'm sick. I
appreciate it. I appreciate
it. Read it or write it.
Right. I appreciate it. I said it's a middle grade that takes fairy tales and turns it on its head. It's about cross-world corruption. Oh, wow. I'm going to check that out, too. Hey, Eva, how are you? Hey, Heather. I saw that I feel like you put a new video up. I feel like I saw it at like 2 a.m. my time. I have to check that out. I blame my granny. I blame my grandma as well for my writing, 100%. Just even says, I write some sort of combination of cursive and print and random lines that don't actually look like any language, but I'm supposed to read later. I completely understand it. They stopped teaching cursive in school, so it's about to be a relic. That's so crazy to me. But like, when me and Paul first started dating, we got his daughter a like cursive book just because of that. Like they weren't teaching it, and he wanted to like ensure that she knew how to write cursive. So we got like one of those. Y'all remember those notepads with the big, and they have the like lines in the middle, so you knew how to get your form and stuff, which was hard to find because they don't teach it anymore. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, y'all, we are going to get into sprint 3. This will, depending on how much we talk, probably be the last sprint of the night. And we do have question 3. Ooh, and it's a misspelled word in there. Ooh, let me not act like I don't know how to spell what. There we go. What's something you used to believe wholeheartedly that you now don't believe at all? Questions that need answers. I just finished up the first rough outline for this story idea, feeling fancy, thinking about gaming as a reward. 13,399 words in the outline. Whoo, child, could not be me. Bless your heart. Them some words, girl. Alice said my grade was the last one in my school system to learn cursive. Oh, wow. SM Ryan says, yes, I love that. I think it's so important. Right? Me too. It's also like I think it's weird. Like, and I know people are like, you don't know how like checks aren't important, but the fact that kids don't learn how to balance checkbooks, which like even if you don't have a checkbook but learn how to balance a checking account or whatever, like the fact that that's not taught in school anymore is so sad to me. So sad. And I'm really not that old, y'all. Like I don't feel like I'm old at all. I just feel like I'm grown, right? Like me and Paul were talking about this, right? So like I think this is my opinion. Y'all can disagree. I know somebody is. Young adult is 18 to 25 for me. You are an adult at 25 for me. You are grown though at 30. And then 35 plus, you grown, and can't nobody really tell you nothing. And then when you hit 45, like you're an adult to your adult and like dang near grandma status. So like you didn't raise the generation type of thing. Like time comes with that. But that's just me. All right, y'all, we're gonna get into this sprint. And 3, 2, 1. Y'all write them words. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. How did my lovely co-host do? Also, remember to drink y'all water, guys.
Hello. I am finishing. I'm just reading over my review of the other Black girl. Um,
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I say all these things and have it actually be useful? Because right, like a review could just be like, here's what I thought about it, and it could be really just like, here's what I thought about it, but that's not
yeah,
necessarily helpful for someone reading it. And if they're like, okay, so you're saying the writing is descriptive and something about Nella is annoying, but like how to write a review that is like expresses how you feel about it, but gives some direction to someone who might be thinking about whether or not to read it.
right.
And so I'm like, I'm already on paragraph 2, and I literally just want to do my own writing, and it's already about to be 11 o'clock. Leave me be. Leave me be, responsibility. So that's what I'm doing right now. I will probably just end it with a paragraph that's like, I think you would enjoy this book if you enjoy X, X, and X, in spite of the whatever. Because I wrote like, as a writer, I thought this. As a reader, I thought this. So I'll probably just end with like, if you're wondering whether or not to read this book, you should read it if you want X, and just be aware of X. That's all I got right now, and no one's coming to me for reviews anyway. Um, Wait, the question is gone. Question 3: what's something you used to believe wholeheartedly that you now don't believe at all? Okay. Um, I used to believe that if you have not forgotten something, that you have not forgiven it. And now I think that that is right up there with sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We say these very cliche and altruistic things that don't really have any sort of real life utility and actually can cause harm. So we know that words can actually hurt you very much. And can in some instances cause more harm to you than a stick or a stone. Because that wound will heal. It takes a lot longer sometimes to get at the wound that words can cause. And we don't tell children that, which disallows them from dealing with the wound when it occurs. Um, in the same vein, if you haven't forgiven, then you haven't forgotten, or forgiven, forget, or whatever, that's not wise. Um, that allows someone to do the same thing to you over and over again and put you in a position of being immature or grudging if you refuse to forget that the thing happened, even if you have forgiven. And I think that just creates a cycle of violence that is dangerous. And that you can forgive someone while also recognizing that what they have done should remove their access to you for their good, or perhaps even just yours. But even if it's just your good, that's enough to pull up the drawbridge and say no more. I forgive you. That doesn't mean that we can be in relation to one another anymore. And in fact, I can only forgive you if we are no longer in relation, and that's okay.
I completely agree with that. Because I used to think that. I used to think that like whenever I would remember a situation that had happened, that it meant that I hadn't forgiven him. You know, it just meant that something happened that reminded me of that situation, and I thought about it again. Like I
Exactly.
didn't think about it normally. It had been years since I thought about it before then, and so um so this isn't mine, but even to piggyback off of that is that just because you don't or haven't talked to someone who wronged you, you haven't forgiven them. That's another thing. Like
Man,
when you forgive somebody, that means y'all gotta go back to talking all the time. Y'all got like no,
right,
you can forgive somebody and still keep distance. And like
right.
you were saying, like sometimes it's needed. So I I got the review done and I started working on the blog post. So the review sounds like this. I received a free art copy of this book in exchange for a fair, honest review. If you are looking for a nice psychic mystery to keep you guessing until the very end, Becca C. Smith delivers. As an avid lover, and I realize that this says over, so we're gonna fix this real quick because there should be a land instead a L instead of uh, a lover instead of over. I don't know why I said over just now, but y'all, we're gonna act like I didn't. Okay, so as an avid lover of figuring out the twists before the author reveals them, following Mara and her motley crew of other psychics, including, spoiler alert, a friggin' ghost, was a ride that I had to finish in one day. I stayed up way past my bedtime to find out the true reason Mara and her boyfriend Adam were connected to a high school bully and victim in a town an hour or so away from them. Without giving any spoilers, the author expertly weaves a story illustrating what happens when good people do bad things for the wrong reason and the reasons behind such actions. The finesse in which she tugged at my heartstrings with the ending that brought me to tears was beyond masterful. I am anxiously awaiting book 3 because even though Mara solves the mystery, I got questions that definitely need answers. I would recommend this book to anyone looking for a story that's fast paced, keeps them on their toes, explores complex things, leaves you with a sense of hope for the world, and a splash or mini tidal wave of blood. The end. So there. Right? Like, I don't want to read that because, like, low key, it was good. Like, that was what I was going for. So yeah, so that's what I did. And so for my answer of what's something that I used to believe wholeheartedly that I now don't believe at all was that marijuana is a drug. So as a kid, you're told not to do drugs and, not to drink alcohol, like in my community, like drink alcohol, but don't be an alcoholic, but just don't do drugs at all. And marijuana is put into that category. And so even though I didn't see marijuana as the same as other drugs, I still was like, I'm gonna stay as far away from this as possible because it's a drug and drugs are bad and da 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 da. And it's like marijuana is nowhere close to as bad as Xanax, nowhere close to as bad as Paxil, nowhere close to as bad as a lot of these things that we are medically allowed to take. And so what I learned was that marijuana was criminalized because racism exists. And so marijuana is actually a healing plant that has been used in many cultures for healing properties for years. And that's why a good portion of our states allow it for medical use, because people like me with epilepsy actually have less seizures when they have it. But as a child and a young adult, I suffered through 14 pills a day, multiple seizures a day, because I believed that marijuana was a drug. And if I did it, I'd become a drug addict. And so that's like one of those things that for me was like, I'm so glad I saw the truth and the light, because let me tell you, 14 pills a day of things you are legally prescribed is in no way a good thing. Like, it's no way a good thing, right? Because a lot of us forget that, unfortunately, a lot of medical treatments are to treat and not cure. And so you are still dealing with that same thing over and over and over again, right? So yeah, so that was my thing. Yes, spelling is so totally hard. I agree with that. Eva says the education system isn't designed to elevate the population. That part, completely agree with that. Charlie says, I love cursive, but I had to totally self-teach myself. Yeah, I had to like relearn when I was going back, when I was starting college, because like I hadn't written in it in so long, like since I was in elementary school. And no lie, elementary school kind of scarred me for it because I was left-handed, and there's a lot that goes on with like teaching left-handed students, at least at that time. So, but now exclusively all I write in. Eva says lunch bells and start-stop bells. That's to get us ready to work. Harder to find a good thing than a bad thing in that mess. Right. Aaron and Jerry joined us on Onyx Pages. You guys, if you are looking for a Black booktuber who is deep in the sci-fi and fantasy genre, this is one that you need to check out. She has put me onto so many authors like Dr. Nadia Okorafor. The first YA that I read that I was like, oh my gosh, every decision she makes sense. She is acting like a normal 12-year-old and not a stupid 12-year-old. Well, because, she's a little younger than most YA, they're like 15, 16. But even then, I was like, you act smarter than most of these 16, 17-year-old YA characters. Love me some Sunny. Love me some Sunny. If you have not read A Kata Witch or A Kata Warrior, you definitely need to check it out, especially because she is working on the third book in that series. So be ready for it. Ashley's answer is Christianity. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Oh, thank you. Charlie says, sometimes I imagine you, Shay, creeping into a room singing, all right. How did everybody do? Like The Shining, but for writers, which is funny because he was definitely a writer in The Shining. So that's even more hilarious. Sin said, I read some more pages, finally found the strength to put this book down, and now I am going to get some sleep. Thanks so much for the stream. It was really fun and happy productivity, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Stephanie said, not sure if this counts, but I recently found out that everyone was taught primary colors incorrectly, and we still teach them incorrectly. Primary colors are actually magenta, cyan, and yellow, right? And the only reason I know this to be true is those are the colors that your printers print in. So most printers only have 3 colors that they recognize, like the laser jet and stuff. Like the ink cartridges are
as opposed to red, blue, and yellow.
Well, so it still says magenta and cyan. We're taught that it's red and blue, but it's like the spectrum of the color.
Got it.
That's why. Yeah.
Got it.
But I've seen it like if you read the label on the ink cartridges, they say magenta and cyan. Cyan. I don't know how to say that word. Y'all don't get me to. I could be saying it wrong. Y'all tell me.
I think it's cyan. It's cyan or whatever it was.
Cyan. Okay. See, I don't be knowing.
We're both gonna give up on that.
It's the English language. That's why. Y can make either or sound. Alice got 1,202 words, like the boss that she is. Her answer is special education teachers are given proper training. Teachers in general, can we talk about it? Like, not everybody is taught how to be a teacher. And I think that for special education teachers, that's even more important. Even more important. I'm sorry, Alice, that you've ever even had to deal with this. But Alice goes on to say, I stopped believing this after realizing I knew more than the teacher based on 2 incidences. My own ASD diagnosis. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 14, despite having all of the symptoms. And second, my friend who had dyspraxia, I figured it out after an hour. The special ed teacher couldn't figure it out all year. Man, I think that's the other thing that like adults have to admit, that they can't and don't notice everything. Like they just don't. There are things that because you're an adult, you don't even think about anymore because you're just not there anymore. So like you have to be aware of that potential bias and the fact that you could potentially miss something. I think this is also why the not having teacher assistants is another issue in classes, because you are expecting one person to be able to corral and understand and watch all these different little human beings and like slowly become an adult. So they even have more personality than I am one of those fans of small class sizes and whatnot, because the bigger the class, the more stress on the students and the teacher. And that's just honest. Heather says, I managed to get a large portion of my newsletter put together and create a thumbnail for a video next week. Ow. Vicky, hello. I hope that you are having a good Saturday. Enjoy a splash or mini tidal wave. Love that. I know, right? Well, because like I was like, let me let y'all know it's a little bloody in this book. Like there's blood and people gets killed and all kind of stuff. So I'm, just so you know. I don't really know, not sure. Doc, what now? What doc? What did I say? What doc? Wait, tell me so I know. So I lost. Tell me. Um Oh, okay, y'all. I don't know what I missed, but y'all catch me up so I can respond. Thanks for the love. I appreciate you both as well. Your contributions to AuthorTube and BookTube. I'm using these sprints to work on my Melanin Eclectic Journal. Oh my gosh! So y'all's collabs with the like currently reading washi tape and stuff is so cute. Also, your girl is broke, so she can't like enjoy it just yet. But when that check come for August, I'm gonna be like, ow! I cannot wait. The sky is cyan. Okay, so it is cyan. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. All right. Her name is Dr. Nadia Corfor. I'll put it in the chat. And the books are Akata Witch and Akata. Oh, y'all, I hit the daggum caps lock button. I don't want y'all to think I'm yelling at y'all. Okay, I think I got it. Can I spell? I feel like I can't. Okay, that looks right. That looks right. Okay. Class size reduction. Oh, okay, no, I missed the first one. Okay. There's only one thing I dislike about marijuana, and that is that I can never spell it. So glad I got taught that marijuana can be used to treat illness when used properly is not dangerous. Right. Right. Class size reduction was the only good thing that came out of COVID for me. It forced the school board to only have a max of 24 kids in a class instead of the 40 they usually have. Are you serious? I could not imagine being in a classroom in high school with 40 other kids.
I cannot imagine teaching that classroom.
Right?
Like, that's insane.
The biggest classroom I've ever had to teach was like 25, and that was like a ACT prep workshop. So it wasn't really the same type of thing.
Right.
And
you're teaching to a test.
Right. You're coming for a specific goal. So you're more likely to pay attention because you want to do it right. Like it's not a regular class.
Right. You opted into this.
I could, right.
That's crazy.
Imagine.
I had a class, and I was TAing a class that had 100 and like a little bit over 100 students, but it was a college class. It was on hip hop and cultures. So obviously people were like, "Oh, hip hop," and so there was 100 plus students, and also Dr. Trisha Rose was teaching, and she pioneered the field of hip hop studies. But there was three TAs for that class. My screen is sort of twitching. Am I twitching for you?
No, but you have like a slight robotic-y sound going on.
Okay. It's like it's been thunderstorming here all day, so maybe.
Same here.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that class had 3 TAs. So for a class to have 40 and not have any teaching assistants, like you're setting up that teacher and those students.
Right. See, so as someone who grew up in a small town, a class of 40 sounds insane to me. So I didn't grow up in a small town. It's small to some people for sure, but it's definitely not a small town. And like my graduating class was still 100 people. So this would be almost half of my graduating class in one class would have never worked. Would have never been able to fly. And now I see why y'all have like fights and all this other stuff, not like in general, but you have one person to watch that many students. You can't mitigate all of that. You just cannot. Like there are whole conversations going on that you have no idea about when it's 20 students, let alone 40. They probably binging Netflix. Like you just don't like legit. That's just too many. That's just too many. 70 says you would love the school I teach out. We're all about personalized education, right? Like, right? I taught a class of 35 kids in my old school, but my new school, my largest class size is about 13. Right. Like, so my biggest classes were the ones that weren't AP classes because those were even smaller. But like I want to say my biggest class in high school had like 20 people max. Like max 20 people. And I feel like that was a gym class. Like like being perfectly honest, because I want to say maybe we had like 15 in my like English pre-AP, like in my sophomore year and stuff like that. But like I could not imagine. First of all, because the type of schools I went to, like, bruh, I would have hate. Like, I already hated school because of other people. So, like, even more, like, I'd have even. Ooh, child, not me. My largest class this year was 24. My largest class for 2 years was 42. My graduating year was 600 kids. Dang, that is a lot. Wow. That's a lot. Now I know that we do have schools with like that many in my city, but like that's how big the city I grew up in, right? So there's like 12 high schools and about 4 or 5 have this large of a graduating class. I just didn't go to one. So and then Vicky says, "Oh, this is on my TBR. It is moving up. I want to read anti cringy protagonist. Do not we all?" Vicky says, I sort of became autodidactic. Luckily for me, I didn't have to go to public school, so I had lots of room to learn and love learning. Yeah, that's the other problem for me is that before I went back to public school for high school, I had been homeschooled for 5 years. So it was like super small for 3 of those years. And then 2 years, I went to a co-op where we had people teach classes that like your parents couldn't teach anymore. And even then, like I want to say my largest class then was like maybe 25 students. And that was because like the classes were offered like college classes. So, you only went 2 days a week type of thing. So, yeah. Ooh, 600 kids. I couldn't even imagine, Alice. Oh, my gym class was 200 kids with 3 teachers. My smallest class was AP Calc at 14 kids. Yeah, like so my AP Calculus class had like 6 girls in it. It was like 6 of us in there. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's big. All right, y'all. Well, we did the 2 hours and we got at least an hour of writing in with the 15 and 225s. So, yay for us. I want to thank you guys so much for being in the comments early and pushing me to do this. I got what I needed to get done. Well, half of it, if I'm being honest, but I still got something done. And I don't feel as bad as I felt before the stream starts. So it is a win for me. I do have a few mini announcements. On Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time, me, Kate, and Becca will be having our follow-up chat about the N.K. Jemisin Masterclass. It will be on Becca's channel, so we'll just be like talking about the things that we talked about in our individual videos. It'll be our like first time getting to discuss the different things about it, as we have like not all as a group talked about it. So you'll be getting the live conversation, so that'll be good. And then that night at 7 p.m. Central, we will be having another conversation with myself, the lovely Britt Ryderly, and Bree from Locked Booktition, also Locked Plantition. So if you like plants, definitely go check out that channel as well, because the girl be dropping plant gems, and also it's just fun to watch, if I'm being honest. And so we will be talking about being both a Black person and a creator, and what that means and what that entails for us. So definitely come get in on both of those conversations. And I feel like that's all the announcements I have. What? Ooh, I did that pretty fast. You got an outro you want to do, Ms. Britt?
Sure. I hope that y'all can hear me. I'm Britt. My channel is Britt Ryderly. It's a book and author that talks about the intersections of literature and culture. I do writing vlogs once a month. I do book talks sometimes, and other bookish content and original content like poetry. I'm on a summer schedule right now, so I'm doing 1 to 2 videos a month. My last video that I uploaded was on July 7th, which is my booktube anniversary, so go check that out. Click around on the channel. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button. And if you really feel like you like the vibe and you want this to be a thing, like a thing, then you just click that big red button and we can be internet friends. I tried to slow down to wait for you, Cache, because you always come a full second after me. And I was like, well, let me let her. And one day.
We'll get on it. We'll get on the thing. Also, Vicky, this is hilarious. School dances were awkward though. Okay, whose turn is it to dance with your brother?
Get out of
So
here.
the funny thing is, we didn't even do this. I didn't go to like my first like dance type of thing till I was a sophomore in college. Dadgum shame. Dadgum shame. Um, there are good things about large schools. We have programs for everything, and we do everything from special education to second year college courses. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you both for this. Have a great rest of your evening. You too. Have a good night. Tell the wife we said hey. Oh, cool. I've been curious about the NK Jemisin masterclass. Yes, it was great. I love it. I recommend it to any and everybody, especially if you write science fiction and fantasy.
Oh my
She has a
gosh.
specific section where she talks to creators and marginalized groups, and that is super duper important. And the stuff that she gives, like, is great. Like, and it's like gems that I hadn't heard from other people, like, ever. So I would recommend it to everybody. All right, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.